It's 2014, and that has to be better than 2013 for NC State. I'm Joe Giglio.
Laura Keeley.
Joined by Laura Keeley. We're going to talk some Wolfpack football here. And Keels, man, oh man, 3-9. Overall, 0-8 in the ACC. First winless season since Dwight Eisenhower was president. I don't even think your mom was born in 1959.
She wasn't. It was a long time ago.
That's kind of sobering for NC State. There is hope, though, for 2014. Jacoby Brissett, Florida transfer, new quarterback. Yeah, 51 true freshmen, redshirt freshmen. Just kind of
it's a lot of kids.
A reset button here for Dave Doran in year 2. You have a noted affinity for the Wolfpack, so I'm going to ask you, realistic goal for NC State 2014. Obviously, they would like to get to a bowl.
Sure.
Do you see that happening?
You know, you asked me for a realistic goal.
Realistic goal.
I think 6 wins is your reach goal. Attainable, but it would take a pretty big-time effort, and that would be a huge, huge improvement. Like, I'm talking Dave Doran as like a Coach of the Year candidate if he can turn this around and get this team to 6 wins. It's not impossible, but it's also not necessarily probable, if that makes sense. I think realistically, 5 wins is probably a good goal. Like, I just don't know that this team is going to be ready to run the table in the non-conference. Again, that's asking a lot very quickly after, getting consistently beaten down last year. I think you look at maybe 3-1 in the non-conference. Then I think you look to pick up, 2 ACC wins against teams like Boston College and Wake Forest. And, then you have to be satisfied. It's big-time progress. Yeah. What do you think?
The non-conference schedule on paper, schedule in general on paper is garbage.
It is.
Garbage. If I was a home season ticket holder, I would just you couldn't even sell them. I would just probably light them on fire and protest.
I mean, God bless the season ticket holders.
But I do think the non-conference schedule is a little deceptively challenging. In this sense, Georgia Southern beat Florida last year at Florida.
They did.
You're opening with them. Now, they have a new coach. They have some new players. But still, you're not talking about a team that's going to come out to Carter Finley Stadium and be completely
Absolutely
overwhelmed.
Not. No.
That's a danger game.
Yes, I agree.
Could. More so than, let's say Presbyterian was the opener.
Right.
You're guaranteed to win.
I mean, talk to Duke about Richmond.
Sure.
It happens.
Sure. Then they put Old Dominion, who was just awful at Carolina. That doesn't mean they're going to be awful here.
Right.
Veteran team, can score a lot of points, something that NC State couldn't do last year. Then you got to go to South Florida. Again, not a good team last year, but you still have to win the game.
That's the one I think.
Could be the one in the 3-1 equation.
Yes.
Realistically. Again, we're talking realistically.
Yeah.
I do not have a lot of respect for Boston College. I probably have less respect for Syracuse. And then Wake Forest. I mean, God bless Dave Clawson. I mean,
that is a rebuild.
Your best player was a receiver last year who really made like every play in the whole team.
Yes.
I'm surprised they couldn't figure out a way to let him play defensive line and secondary.
Next to Whitlock and
linebacker.
Yeah.
And, so those are 3 winnable games. So realistically, you could win 3 out of the conference. You could win those 3 games. I think they could beat Georgia Tech too, actually. Georgia Tech is not going to be good this year. I mean, they're not. I don't know where anyone... I saw my man Patrick Stevens had these bowl predictions. He had all those teams I just mentioned being in a bowl, and I'm like, no, I guess someone's got to win some of these games.
Well, I always see the Paul Johnson Super Bowl when they come and play Duke. I've never lost to David Cutcliffe. So.
No, your friend the skinniest, Andrew Carter, he's the one who sees Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech hasn't lost to Carolina. I mean, it's been so long. I don't know. You weren't born, I think. Certainly the last time they won in Atlanta. But.
Well, maybe that's why some people are a little excited about the Ramblin' Wreck. But anyhow.
So anyway, I think they play 4 games, ACC games they can win.
Yes.
And who knows? Then they play Carolina as well. So I'm not ready.
So you think they're going to a bowl?
I do. I think they can win 7 games. I think they can win 7 games.
That would be quite the accomplishment.
Here's one thing I don't like. They play Boston College in between Florida State, Clemson, Boston College.
Well, that's your winnable game.
Louisville. I know that's the one you have to win, and it's in such a bad spot on their schedule. I hate to spoil my own ACC preview, which is going to run on Sunday, but
check it out.
You realize Boston College and Auburn had the same number of players drafted last year?
Oh, my God, really?
4. Wow. I mean, that's pretty incredible. So people who are like, wow, Boston College, Steve Adazio did a great job last year, don't get me wrong, but...
They're all gone.
They're starting over, bro. I mean, And then
They
Syracuse,
also have a Florida quarterback transfer.
They do.
Yeah.
It's like a disease taking over the ACC.
Anyhow.
So, okay, so we disagree. And going back to our previous video, we disagree on Duke. And I think you're going to pick a different Coastal Division winner again, or did I just spoil it for the world?
I don't know. I mean, I think Miami. You look at their talent.
Okay.
You look at their talent. You know, they have that South Florida talent. You look at their schedule. I mean, the Louisville thing is tough, but for instance, they welcome Duke at the end of September. If that game is at 3 p.m. in South Florida at the end of September, like that's going to be like a thing. I think, if people are wanting to help out the Hurricanes, trying to soften their schedule, they'll be able to do that. And, why not?
All right, well, click on our Duke preview. Click on Laura's preview of Carolina with the skinniest Andrew Carter. And stay here, newsobserver.com, all season for all our coverage of ACC football.